So, you have a water bottle, and it's kind of boring and it's kind of hard to tote around because, I mean, look at this. Who wants to carry their stupid little water bottle like this? You want a water bottle holder. Well, just you just you wait. I'm gonna show you how to crochet one, okay? Let's get to it. Hello, my name is Mav and welcome to another little episode of Beginner Makes, where I'm a beginner doing something for the first time and you're gonna watch how I make it. Bear with me in this one because I didn't do a test beforehand. I'm coming with the design up on the fly. So I'm so sorry. We're gonna do a magic circle. So, pinch, put your fingers together, and give yourself an X. Just like that, wrapping it around. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our hook, we're gonna go under, we're gonna grab this top one right here, we're gonna pull it through. Okay, great, we have that. We're gonna lift this little thing up. Now we have two classic stitch. Now it's secure. Do 6 single crochets. So, yarn over once, that's our first one. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Awesome, we have 6 on our loop now. I'm gonna tighten it up. Don't look at that. So now what we're going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my first stitch. We're going to go in there. There we go. Yarn is a little tight. And we're going to just pull through. Simple enough. And I'm gonna go ahead and put stitch marker through that first stitch just to make things a little bit easier. But you see where my 2 little loops are going into this hole, right, that one. We're gonna go back into that one and that's going to act as our increase. Could my iPad stop shutting off? Thank you. So now we're going to do an increase in each of these for a total of like 12 stitches. So this is our second stitch. Gonna do 1, go back, 2. Now we have 4. And we're just doing this in every single one to make it overall like bigger. Woo! So we have it. There we go. So let's unclip little stitch marker. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in the rounds in increments. So we're going to slowly just go up by 1. So this third row, our next row, we're going to start with stitch 1. Take your stitch marker, mark that first stitch, and then we're going to do an increase. So 1 and 2. I'm going to do 1 stitch and then an increase. 1 stitch, increase. I'm gonna pull my yarn forward a little bit more. So we just did an increase. We're gonna do 1 stitch and an increase. 1 stitch, increase. Final 1 stitch and our last increase. And the reason we do it incrementally is so that it kind of just works in a big old circle. This yarn, I swear to God, it hates me. So, we're going on to our 4th row. This is the next increase. So, we just did 1, and now we're gonna do 2. So, stitch 1, and then an increase. And then we're going to end that little paragraph or that little phrase with a single stitch. And we're going to repeat it. 1 stitch, increase. End it with 1. The reason it's split up this way is for even numbers, you want to split it in half with the amount of beginning and ends that you do, so that way it completes all the way around. So there was our increase. Here's our first stitch. We begin our phrase again with 1 stitch, increase. And for the odd numbers, you just stitch the odd numbers and then your increase. You don't split those in half. End it with 1. Start with 1. Increase. 1, 2. Doing our increase. 1, 2. Increase. And see, we're ending with our 1, and the start of it was 1, so it makes a good loop all the way around. So now we're going on to our next step up. So we're going to the wrong hole. Put in 1 stitch in our beginning of the row, stitch mark that, so we've got that. And now we're going to stitch 2 more. So we did our first one, here's our second one, and our third one. And now we increase. Pull that tight. And now 1, 2, and 3. So does it kind of make sense how it's kind of going? So we just did our 3. We're going to do an increase. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. Awesome. Now we do our increase. So 1, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 2. Start it over. 1, 2, and 3. Pull my yarn out once more. God. So I just did 1, 2, 3. Time for an increase. And then 1, 2, 3, and we're going to end this row on an increase so that it continues that pattern all the way around. And I think this is still too small for, yeah, that's way too small. For me, I'm probably gonna do 1 or 2 more rows. So our next number is 4. So we did 3 stitches in a row with an increase. Now it's up to 4. So we're gonna split that 4 in half so it completes the circle. So we're going to stitch 1, 2, do an increase, and then end with 2. Oh, this yarn get off my hook. And now we start the phrase again with another 2. And the starting and end phrases will then look like 4 stitches all together. So I will refer to them, I will just count up to them as 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our increase. Do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull my yarn up and do an increase. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure, double checking, and then our increase. I like to double check my stitches once in a while, make sure I'm on the right track. So that was 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have our increase, and then we're ending this phrase with our 1 and 2, and that makes a complete 4 all the way around. Awesome. We're getting in the stages where it's looking pretty close, so I like how that looks. I'm gonna make it just a little bit bigger because that friction will be awful to deal with. So our next number increase was 5. So we're going to single crochet 5 in a row before our increase. So that was 1, here is 2, here's a 3, a 4, and a 5. And then we have our increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with our increase. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 with our increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Increase. I also apologize if I'm going a little fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Increase. 1, 2. Time to pull the yarn again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're ending on our increase. So I like this size. Let's see how it looks. I like that. I think it's pretty good. We are going to single crochet all the way around. And you know what? I'm actually going to do this off camera, and I'll tell you how many rows I did. So I did 1 just full wraparound, and this is how it's kind of looking, which is like, it's okay. It'll look better in a minute, presumably. We're just gonna do a regular old stitch into our first one. And now we're going to chain 2, 3, and a 4. So we've got 4 on our chain. We're going to skip this stitch. We're going to go into this one. And we're going to do a double crochet. So wrap your yarn around your hook, go in, pull through, stitch 1, pull through 2, pull through the last 2. I'm going to chain 1. It's like our spacer. I'm gonna do a double crochet into the next stitch, skipped the one in the middle. So through 2, pull through the last 2, chain 1, skip the next one, double crochet into the after that, through 2, pull through 2, chain 1, and we're just kind of gonna do this all the way around. So give you a second. All right, so I went all the way around. Stay down. So now I'm on my last little iteration of it for this row. So I've already chained 1 double loop. We're gonna skip this beginning and we're gonna go into the stitch right here. And just do our normal double crochet. We're gonna chain 1. And now we're going to, so we're kind of like at a weird like little angle. So we're going to go into this stitch right here. I don't know if you can see it, but just right on top of the first double crochet we did, if I can stick it in there. There we go. Oh wait. You're gonna want to DC right into that first. So let me get that over here. I don't know if you guys can see it. You'll just have to, I don't know. This is kind of just coming from the top of my head. I don't really know if this is a good way to do this or not. But regardless, going to chain 1 and we're going to double crochet. We're going to double crochet right into the next one. Yarn 2, yarn 2. And listen, it doesn't really matter in the end, because what we're looking for is functionality. So you're just kind of gonna go around and DC into the top of every other DC and doing 1 chain in between each of them. Some of them will be a bit easier to find than others, but I think in the end this will probably look pretty okay, if I do say so myself. But yeah, that's what it's look like. That's what it's looking like. So now my plans are to probably do like a half double crochet in this stitch. Maybe in this one. I want to try and get this as even as possible. It's a little hard to do, but we're gonna try. So I'm gonna see how that goes first. So I'm going to half double crochet into these next 2. So you yarn over 1, go through your usual one, yarn, pull through 1, okay, and then we're just gonna pull through these 3, and then chain 1. We'll do it one more time. So this DC is where we're going in. Pull through 1, chain 1, and then pull through 3, chain 1. Pretty good. And then let's see what we can do to get this to look a little bit more even. Because I think the best way to go about it is then to just regular stitch. Yeah. And then I'm gonna go all the way around, just to see if that helps any. So this is essentially us putting stitches, because these are kind of hard because they're like floating stitches. Let's try and decide whether I should chain one or not. But I know I shouldn't. But yeah. So we're just going into every stitch around and just giving it a stitch itself, kind of reinforce this top, and I'll figure out what I want to do for the handle. So we kind of crochet all the way around. We're back at our starting little stitch. Fun. Here's this little one in between. Ooh, I'm gonna see if I can get to it. Come on. Let me through. Okay, got it. I don't get it. Okay, I got it. And just for more reinforcement, I'm gonna go another time around. You know, just so I feel a little bit more confident. We'll see if we need a third round. I don't know for sure, but we'll see. Already this is a lot easier to crochet into. So like that's a plus. That's what we want for the foundation of these straps that we're gonna do. And I always pull my hook off of the chains. I don't know why I do it. So this is what it's looking like now. Pretty cool, pretty spectacular. And now we're gonna try and do the straps. So I think I'm just gonna do one big strap, and it's gonna, I'm kind of lazy at this point, honestly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna like fold this in half, and I'm gonna find, that's not in half. Okay, oh, wait. I'm just gonna find the stitch that kind of lines up. I'm gonna mark it. Okay, sweet, awesome. And now, what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to chain however many chains to make a strap that is the length that I like. So, and if it doesn't work, we can always frog it. So I'm just gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, so I got 40 of them. Now I'm just gonna go straight into the stitch that I marked. I'm just gonna, bam, it's attached. But the only problem with that is this is incredibly weak. So we're gonna make it a little stronger. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to orient this. Let's do a stitch in the nearby one. And then let's just pull this bad boy out. And let's start just stitching in here. Nearing the end. Here we go. Okay. And I'm just placing stitches where I can find them. I'm not super counting. I'm just gonna place a stitch in here for reinforcement. Place a stitch in the other way, and then we're gonna turn. Let me pull my yarn out. Get some of it over here. Okay. So we've turned now, and we're gonna go right back in. Yeah, just, I'll probably stop it at 3. There. Okay. And I've made a critical error. It's twisting. But honestly, I kind of like don't mind it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to fasten off, and I don't feel like guesstimating like the scissors. So I'm just going to bring the yarn around the whole project. I like doing that whenever the projects are small enough to like pull around, just because it's funnier to me. And also, you know, this way I save just a little bit of yarn. So I'm just gonna, I was gonna have it cut on the first try. That didn't happen. Wish I carried that down. And I don't like the fact that it is not, that it is twisting. Listen, like I said, functional. If you want, functional. Yeah. Okay, thanks, bye.